on my way to your house to rape you.
100 bands in my fucking
Simple mold scale, 0 to 500. As you see right here, this is Joe Rogan. Since he is Joe Rogan, and he has an oval shaped head that is on automatic 212. His beard, I'd say 50. Baldness, 78. Crinkled, it's an automatic 120. So that's official mold. Enza Danino, Hitler kid in the back of the bus. Red Hitler cap, 212. Moldiness, number on his jacket, 120. Face deformed mold statue, that is going to be 58. Plus another 20 for crippled leathering. This one does not need explaining. If you can't tell by just looking at the picture, it is the person on the left. Maxed out points, just to start off. Eggplant head, gouged teeth, big forehead. Gone. To start off, crust on head, automatic 200, white dot on the side, 50. Weird teeth, 120. Lips, 48. Ears, 500. Maxed capacity, gone. Kyle Moldgard, an individual that should not be discussed in anyone else's mouth except for mine. This man is the moldiest of all. I do not need to explain, but I will present many pictures throughout this video of his moldy features and how he is the god of mold. No one compares. He is mold. Bonte sells carts to people that go completely black within 1 week. Automatic 250. Bonte, moldy. Facial features, never to return. Lips, 98. Facial exits, 2. He is one mold. There's no explaining. I really can't explain the mold on this man, and his carts are very bad. Andrew Allen Abrams, an astonishing young individual. 250 facial features, looks exactly like Sueco the Child. Pink shirt, 528. Max capacity, overscaled. He is gone. MTV Jesse, a man known with Nelk boys. His neck is very bulged. His chin, small, non-existent. Oval-sized head. Ears, not looking good for him. I'd say this is a 496. It took me a second to compensate that, alright? You know, the implications of my actions could be fairly bad with Nelk boys, so spare me. Cruz Stone looks exactly like Leroy from the map Buried in Black Ops 2 Zombies. Automatic 500, maxed on the mold scale. Complete. Okay, now the Shaq DLC in CSGO is definitely a very hard one to rate, but as you see, sunglasses, those are like a 125. His chin and his cheeks, you can see the chiseled ravines. And I mean, that's insane. So that's 80. I'd give it 80. I'm sparing him here. He is FBI, so that makes him 2, because, you know, good civilian. His hair, very crisp, nice line. That is an 83, so I think that might be one of the best ratings so far. Shark Monty got his cock sucked by someone looking at vinyl records. Beat the vinyl records boy. Shoved a broomstick in someone's ass. Slammed their head on a sink and killed them. Shark Monty is a solid 229. Matthew Bringle, there's a lot on this creature, but me being the mold meter and mold scale, I would say that he is a total number in capturing of, I'd say 472. Not going over, but he is fairly close. 905 Dartman. Hands, very off, so that is 80. Face, Asian 200. Gelled hair. That is where it officially tops it. And that is why he is over. His gelled hair is not allowed and should not be allowed anywhere. He's over the limit. He's 526. A complete vile human being. Swaco the Child made a TikTok song and it got famous. If you have a song that gets famous because of TikTok, you are automatically gone off of the mold scale. Do not even deserve to be on it. Shark Monty, a failed Bendigo experiment. Came to Bendigo. Tweaker Chavez. Alright, so to start off, facial features, looks like a skeleton. His eyes, I don't know what that is around it. Maybe some kind of STD, disease. I don't know what Devin's got going on for him. I think his shirt might be a little too small. He's wearing jeans, just normal jeans. He basically deserves to be put on death row. He stomps on salads, and that is basically unproportionate. So I'd say I'd give him a 538 on the mold scale. Almost up with Jamie Moldith. To start off, this is absolutely unacceptable. Whoever decided to throw this in the mold scale shall be perished. But I will rate it. Chin, facial structure, 228. Nose, big. Lips, odd. Hair, odd. He's a 497.5. No longer acceptable in my parts, but in some he will be. Rojogan was put on death row in the year 1978. Hasn't returned and has been perished. But I will rate. Weird. Dimple. Teeth. Very unproportionate. Alien features. Imagine him with a shaved head. That's all I have to say. You can rate this one, not me. I've decided to take a break. Cade. An orphan from ages 1 to 6. Eventually, he was adopted by organisms. But that does not mean that I cannot rate him. Odd facial features. That's a 120. Eyebrow, one of them is tainted. 86. Hair, gone. 23. He's part of the Treyway Bloods. That's an automatic 3. He's checkered. 180. The Reaper from below that conceals the ones on top. This organism is accomplished. But when it comes to mold, it will never return. This right here is Joe Rogan, the one from Wyoming. We shall not forget about all he has done. He has conquered and achieved everything that man would like to achieve. But when it comes to mold, oh, we know the answer. Harmonica in mouth. Automatic deductible of 180 from top score. Mold. Facial features. Eye. That's an automatic 238. Hair, limp. Bonial structure, 28. Limpness, 896. He has achieved unproportion. Everyone is copying my style. You best stop copying my style of wearing black clothes. This quote was from this man, which puts him on the mold scale of complaining and seeking for attention of 580. Death Row. Simple but not yet made. Wearing a tailor-made hat. We will not be able to see what's under that hat, but the fact that it is a golf brand and that he's playing golf puts him on a scale of 320. Now let's get to the facial features. Smile, gap in teeth, white spectral range. That is definitely an 82. Ears kind of out. 26. Neck, bulge. Face, circle. Man, he's doomed. He's simply doomed, and there's no way out of that. He's up at my rating now. He's like a 520. He's capped the mold. This man created a cult at the age of... So, with that saying, he is high on the mold scale. Dreads that look like they have not been washed in over 1 year and are very crispy and stiff. Cum threaded, I'm guessing. Automatic 180. He's simply gone with the wind. He's not coming back from that one. So, that is a 28. In his eyes, you can see he is wondering. But, is he really? No. So he is high on mold scale. Now right here we have the moldy man in the intro. So to start off, armpit. I don't know what that is, but it looks like a mouth. His face. Well, I don't know what the hell's wrong with it to start off. It looks stretched. It looks expanded. Terrifying. Alright. It looks like a Skeletor. Like his face is just... It's terrifying. That's some shit you see before you transfer to hell. So that's an automatic 438 on the mold scale. Gown Andy. To be honest with you, he would look a lot better without hair. I don't even see the point of having that on there. He should just pull a 1, 2, 3 Joe Rogan. I mean, what the hell is that? That's disgusting. But if we're gonna rate his structure, let me get serious now. Neck. It's extended. His head, it's molded. It's almost at an oval circle pace. His mouth, it looks like he doesn't have a bottom row of teeth. So that's an automatic 120. Ears, they're kind of shriveled. And then the hair tops it. That's like 350 on the mold scale. You messed up there. I'm sorry. And I'm sure his thumbs are very diagonal too. So Grand Fraser. He runs track. That means he's a fast one. But when it comes to mold, oh, he's doomed. He is doomed, alright? Eternally doomed. First of all, he goes to a hell school, alright? Shit. That's like 300 on the mold scale, right? Then facial stretch. Sorry, but like that's 150. I hate to do that to him, but that's just the bold truth. And then to his right, cut off. That's red lips. You don't want anything with red lips. So he's maxed. Sorry. Absolutely terrifying. To start off, whatever is around his neck and is connected to his ears, that is disgusting. I don't want any part in that. So, let's rate him. Just by that alone, that adds a 28 to the mold scale. I know, not that high, but a 28. But wait. His hair, the forehead, it looks like it's kind of an oval, so I'd give that a 260. Chiseled abdomen, 162 and a quarter. And then I don't know what he's laying on, but whatever that is moldy. So he's maxed. So we're gonna rate the one on the left, alright? I don't know, alright? Is that Jacksepticeye? I don't know what it is. Alright? They're at a pier. It looks like it's like 2 degrees outside. I don't understand this shit. Who takes a picture when the sky is gray? You're a tartar. Not these people in particular. They're not tartars, okay? But that is Jacksepticeye. So there's not even rating for me. Okay? That's just, it's capped. It's capped. It's capped. Grayson Staley. I don't know what's going on in this picture, alright? But the mold is extending. So I don't know what's going on here. Not even from my mold perspective can I tell. But I will give it my best, my very best. Structure, 220. Lips, don't know what's going on there, but I'll give it a 28. Nose, it looks crooked in a way, so that's 22. Ears, 480. Shit. That's it. That's capped. That's capped. Now, I don't actually have a translation for the name on this one, but you see, he is a Sewanee tiger. Student athlete, 220. Face molded to limits. You got cresses right above the lips and under the nose. That is 28. And those eyebrows, I can't tell you. Can't tell you what's with those. So vein. It's vein too. So that's up there. It's like a 382. Now we have someone that truly doesn't deserve to even be rated, which I'm not gonna rate them. They do not deserve to be rated because they're too high on the mold scale already. So I can't rate them. I hate this person. They whip their dick out behind a binder. That is gay and sexual assault. We do not accept that on the mold scale. Whoever submitted this picture shall be crucified. And now we have an official roach, a feral ghoul from Fallout 4. So let me get straight into this one. Miss Sexton. So there's a lot of backstory behind this one. But in 5th grade, am I right? He just slithered his way in. We don't know who this guy is. He just wanted to play potato, and that pisses me off, alright? We don't accept people like this in the group. It's sacred, okay? It is sacred and shall not be rated, but I will rate because it's not good, alright? It's distinguished. It's distinguished ambition, and we can't let that through. Mold 486. I don't gotta go through it. 520. I've just raised the bar. This one is simply reverted. There's no way of even explaining, but if we go off of the mold scale, there's definitely a lot of mold there. Greasiness, I'd say. Greasiness is a big factor in the mold scale. Chisel, skin strength. I gotta give it a 396 on the mold scale. It's actually a pretty good rating, so be blessed. I can't explain this one. Every day, red lips. Red. Nothing. Red. And that, if I would have looked back then, right, that would have been so high on the mold scale. I'm sure he's gotten rid of the sickness, but if they're red, you're pushing it, okay? You're pushing it. And everything else, it just adds on. Look at that finger length. Jesus. What is that? He's exceeded. He's capped the limit. It goes off of 400 for red lips, and that's just it, you know? Red lips are very bad on the mold scale. You can't let them through, and if they are let through, then you are doomed. You know, you got eternal life in hell. As we look in depth, this is one normal human being. He has nice manners, but I don't know about that hairline. It's quite terrifying. But we will let him know that he's a 238 on the mold scale, a very good rating. We shall not let that be forgotten. We will leave him with that, as I do not see any chiselment that is misvalued. So this will be left here. This will most likely be the highest rating on the mold scale. Maybe even the lowest. If you know, you know. But that white shirt is phenomenal on this man. Don't bother buttoning it up. You look tremendous. We will let him know what he is on the mold scale, and I will give him a nice 462 for facial features that are not yet identified, so I am not able to rate it. It is very hard for me to rate. Thank you. A drip that we have yet to notice. The asphyxiation on this one is very nice. We like that neck. It is covered with the turtle, and he has a $5 chain that has a thumb on it. Nice pose too. Very adequate of you. But as we look into his head, it is quite slumped, so we're going to have to give that a 220. And then everything else combined would be about a 175. So that is your rating. Thank you. This is a picture that I would see and never forget. 100, 100, 100, alligator, alligator, 100. Hibahita. This is a face you won't ever forget. Truly. I saw this at birth, and, well, I didn't forget it, and I'm sorry about that, but that's just true. So, if we get the action right, not nation, the filter is quite nice, forehead a little bit wrinkled, face moldy, you can see the moles on it, and hair crusty, cum silked. Let's let that be known as a 428. For this one, I will leave you in silence and let you listen to the nice harmony while you advance in this one. At first glance, there is nothing off-putting about this, but 2 years ago, my friend experienced something of life that, well, he could not just polish off. This has a third sphincter. Unforgettable, and you will simply never forget. Don't let it get to you, but this one is capped on the mold scale. Never forgotten. It's like a KFC dating simulator. You just do not reckon with it. Grand Barrier. This is one that's hard for me. As if you noticed, there was weed on his lap, and he didn't extinguish it. So then Rosie got him. She got him, and he never came back, simply. He got locked in the pit. That puts him at a capped mold scale. There's nothing else that I could say. He is capped, and has yet to be extinguished. Dark. Nothing in sight. Darkness. No eyes. No light. This teacher cannot see. You may hit any nicotine device right in front of this man, and he will not see. As you see, his hairline is very off, and I can understand he cannot help it, but it is not adequate of him, and his lips are too close to his nose, so that puts him at a 186 on the mold scale. Once was on Joe Rogan Experience. This contestant has many features of mold, and that is easy to see. Baldness, that is a trait from Joe, I am guessing. That puts him pretty high on the mold scale. That's like 250 on the mold scale. Baldness is what gets you. And something about him, it's like his eyes, they're just like soulless pits. So that's 50. And then that's I'd say that's his final score, 300. So he's pretty high up there on that mold. Now this specimen would be very hard to rate, as it is an abnormal essence coming from the picture, so that always makes it very hard for me to rate it. But me being me, I think I'll do a very good job at rating him, and a very professional job. So if you can't tell, he's a national champion. So that explains his figure. If you look through his appearance, you can see his mold very well actually. His ears, they're like 2 times the size of his head without the stretch. His eyes, they're slanted and distorted. His face isn't that distorted, but it's a 387 on the scale of mold, and that is final. Now this is very sad, and it hurts me to speak of it. This man is sad. This man is sad after his deadly home invasion. He's sad. I'd be sad too after my deadly home invasion on some handicapped man, is what I'm guessing. You know, actually, I know that for a fact. That's what happened. But let's get into the mold. So he has a pedo stash that's an automatic deductible 50. So that's good on him. But whatever the hell is on his chin, that is 280. His hair, it's a little chiseled at the top, a little threaded, not too lined up well. So that's a deductible 20, and that's his official rating. And there's nothing else that needs to be said. Now this is part 2 of the home invasion. It really gets to me. I see the tears coming down from his eyes. I shed a tear also. But, this is something I can relate to. Beating crippled old men in a home invasion is very relatable. I feel like it should be for most people, right? Like, if you're watching this and you don't relate to that, you're abominable, alright? You're abominable, and you don't really deserve life. But let's rate this guy. I'm not gonna be super harsh with him, but I will rate what I truly feel. His lip. He's missing the bottom half of it. I don't know what happened to it, but it's missing. That's a deductible 100. Ears bring it up to 50. Negative 50. I mean, it's not a whole 50, you know what I mean? But his hair, it's not super chiseled, but it's there. 50. So he's at a 0 now. And then his chin brings it up to about 478. So 478 is the rating. I will not rate this any lower than it has to be.
I'm very hungry.
This is a 26 on the mold scale. Now listen to me.
Pepper.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. You can see it's a structure.
Give me the french
It's a whole
fries.
physique that we haven't seen. And I will now let you
Give
look
me
at
the
it,
jam.
and by the end of it, you will realize what I say. You will realize what I'm saying
me
and what
the
I'm trying to get to
noodles.
here. I'm explaining something that hasn't been seen by the human eye in such a long time. So please, watch. This is the specimen that I did not want to discuss in this video, but since it was submitted, I must. This one, it hurts me and pains me to physically speak about it and mentally think about it. It pains me. But I will. I will speak. We got everything in here. Sewer rat. Straight out the sewer, out the scoop. You know, we got everything we need, really. You know, I can feel slime and hemphris coming right off of it. The essence is provoking the hair. I don't know what's going on with it. It's like a 50 on the 520 on the mold scale. There's no topping that. 520. And then everything else, that's a 680. You're in the thousands. You must stop and exterminate. This one truly makes me timber. I will not let anyone get in the way of me explaining this, but I will. The mold is resonating from this one. I can feel it quite heavy in the wind. So, let me rate it. Oh, the eye sockets. You can see the eye sockets under the eye. Those are molding. I can see it spreading in a few years. It definitely could. It's a possibility. You got the triathlon mouth. That's 80 on the mold scale. And those eyes, they were also 80. And then the crescents around the lips and nose and cheeks, I would say that is a 263. A creature very close to a lamp shell. I could really put this one on the salt lick category, but I will decide not to, and I will stay away from that one. So, if we're bringing it to mold, there are very few people on this earth that are equipped with square heads. This is one of them. The square head, it with me at least, and for other mold raiders, it makes it physically impossible to rate on the mold scale, and you are capped. You're capped at 500, maybe even over, somewhere in that range, but it's just too hard to rate it because of the square head. It ruins the peripheral. Now this one is actually a double feature. As you see, this is quite terrifying right off of the start. But wait till you see what I'm about to show you. It might hurt you, it might not, but right here, this is it. You are capped. You are beyond capped. You are 1,286. Greg Paul. Greg Paul seems like he's always out here just making vital mistakes, and it's like no one can stop him. It's crazy. What is the law doing right now? Nothing, because Greg Paul is getting away with stuff like this. It's crazy. Now, if I were to rate him, which I am, I would say something about that smile seems offsetting. It seems like he's in a different kind of skin suit than normal. So that is going to be 58 on the mold scale. And then you have a cheeks that seem to be crest and have a line, and that will be 78, I'd say. And he's close to baldness, kind of short-term baldness. It can get in the way of things. And then there's glasses, which that puts 100 on it. So it's not capped, but I'm sure it could be if you extended it. Now we have Greg Heffley. Greg Heffley, being in Diary of a Wimpy Kid, I would say that adds a 220 on the scale. Actually, I'd say being Greg Heffley probably caps him. Nothing else, not Joe Rogan on this one, because you see there is some Joe Rogan that possibly could be seen in this picture, but I'd say just the Greg Heffley parental figure in this one. It caps it, so there's no going back. Good-witted 40. Now this one definitely has my permission to be molded on the scale. So as you see, the chin, whatever the hell that mold is around it, I wouldn't even consider that to be a beard. That is mold, and I can sense it. I have been able to comprehend this kind of stuff before, so I'm not new to this. But I'd say if it were professionally put on the mold scale, I'd give it a 162. The lips are almost exceeding the beard, so I'd say that's kind of high on the mold scale. The eyebrows look like they're drawn on. So altogether, this is like a 482. It's not capped though. It's definitely not capped, but that's where it is in my standings. Brandon. Now this one I have encountered before, and he's very hard to get off the notch. But as you see, he always tries to fade into the shadows, and that's why it's so hard to capture everything that we need to get to rate him. But this picture is a little bit enlightened, and you are able to see him a little bit more clear now. So I'm going to decide to rate him. I know it could be dangerous and impactful on me in a way, but I'm going to do it. It has to be done. And no one else even tries to, but me being me, I have to. You know if you know. You know if you know. So you got that forehead, that wrinkle. That's the one that, it distinguished him. So you'll be able to know who this is once you see that. The beard, more mold exceeding the limits, and then just everything else. It just adds on to 486, and I don't know why people are so afraid to rate that, but I'm here to tell the truth, and that's his rating. Tell Yo Snap to add me. If you see anybody with this on their story, you should automatically consider them as retarded. That is your best defense in this situation, and I'm here to warn you and tell you why the mold resemblance is so important in this one. So as you see, the hair, I don't know what the hell happened, but I think the mold must have gone through the threads or something. Just by me looking at it, that's what I guess. But I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm very accurate on this one. But there's a lot more than just the hair going on in this one. You got the hair, his cheekbones. It looks like he's biting them from the inside of his mouth. He has a pedo stash. Pedo stash is usually a deductible 50, but for this one, that's a 120. The cheeks are sucked in. That's also a 120. Hair, 178, because the threads have been molded to a limit. And his neck, that's a 68, because it's very bulged wide. And that's his mold. That's his mold meter scale, and there's nothing else. Now this right here, that's a 2-in-1 special. This is a pretty rare thing usually on the mold scale, but I will do it. I don't cost anything, you know. I don't charge a fee for these. So, he's wearing a red hoodie with a horse on it. So that's a deductible. That's not even deductible. That's just a 200 flat. And he has glasses, and he's a ginger. He's capped, gone. Now the person on the right, that is a 220. Just by the way I'm looking at it, I don't even gotta tell you what it is that gives it 220, but it's definitely a 220, and I won't take that back. Shit. And then a 60 for 280. There's nothing else that needs to be said. Hey, you want a K2 pod? You want a meth pod? If you want any of those, this person here, this insect, is definitely your guy. Now, if you can't tell, I can't rate him. He's already capped. He's capped beyond anything that we've done so far. He's beyond capped. And, you know, by what he's saying, bro, driving high is insane. I wouldn't trust him either. When he was driving high, he definitely stuck his head out his sunroof and drove with his feet, and then crashed his car, right? See, that's what happened to him. Look at him. This is what happens when you use meth pods, am I right? I mean, don't even let me add on that his mom is a heroin addict and saw a picture of Keemstar on my Instagram account with a stick in his mouth. A stick in his mouth. And then they tried to exterminate me while I was sleeping. It's horrible. You know, I don't know what it is with K2 and spice and meth. I don't know. I'm wondering when the heroin pods are coming out. Now, my guess for this one, it's probably in the Jonathan Seacrest range, if anything, but I'm not going to get into a lot of describing. I'm just going to rate off of what I see. The hair, that's a deductible 280. So he's already negative in the mold scale. And honestly, I have mixed feelings about that, but that's just what it is. A flannel shirt. I'm guessing it's, I don't know, 68 degrees outside. It's fall. You know, this is a nice family picture with a Christmas wreath too. Oh shit, maybe it's in December. Maybe it's not October. But I don't know why. I honestly don't know why flannel shirts exist. But he's in the negatives, and he's not capped, but he's negative. And you're basically doomed. You're done. This one, I could say it's doomed. All right, this one hurts me. I'm already shedding a tear. It's painful. It's painful. But if we're gonna rate on the mold scale, I gotta be professional. I gotta sit up straight, and I gotta tell you what it is on the mold scale, right? I don't know what the hell they're doing. First of all, they're like drawing with crayons on the wall. That's already a spectral range of autism. So that's 250. And I don't even want to get. I don't want to start talking about the hair, you know, the hair, like, not just the hair. If you know, you know. Haha, Bonte. So, Jesus, it's doomed. I mean, like, it's up there in like 480s. It's capped. It's capped. Like, there's not really even describing at this point to how capped it is. It hurts me. It makes me want to. This one simply does not even deserve the rights to getting rated. Jack Saunders, professional goblin. Nose, width of a windmill. Wingspan, large. As you see, just the eye width, very odd. Nose width, very odd. Length of the nose, even. You can really get even into that part. And, you know, that's what's disturbing about this one. And I would say it's capped, but I think it's just a little bit below, like, a 460. So, you know, I'd put it in the 465. Shit, just noticed he's wearing an Adidas shirt from like 2009 with the green shit. Yeah, no, he's capped. Oh my god. Oh my god. Jesus. Shit. This one hurts me, honestly. I can't even begin to start on everything. Sid from Toy Story, Jesus Christ, using his magnifying glass to melt fucking toy soldiers. This one truly hurts me the most. And, you know, I have this feeling inside of me. It's like a permanent scarring that I've just gotten from this one. But if I were to rate it on the mold, you go to the cheeks. This one's capped already, I can go ahead and tell you that, because of how much it's personally hurt me. I just can't really take it back, honestly. Cheeks, mold, it's like scarred. It's like he fell on a treadmill and just let his face just, you know what I mean? Like, he's abominable. His forehead is like scrunched. His lips, the hell? What is that shit? Looks like a carp. Creature on creature on creature on creature. You just never get enough of them, right? This one could be put into the Bonte school of creature and organizations that we don't even know of till this day. So let's rate it. As you see, it's definitely from the Nord division. You know, it's good in battle, but not really good in any other circumstance. So I'd have to go ahead and give it a default 300 for the Nord division. Looks like it's balding almost, so that's a 50. 150. Yeah, capped. I can't even rate. It's capped. This is horrible. This is truly putrid. So this one might catch your eye, first of all. But we're not going to rate whatever the hell that creation is. We're going to rate the person with a mole in the background. Oh, that's what. No, that's not good. That's not okay. I couldn't imagine having a MTV Jesse mold on my face instead of my chest. Oh my. I'd have to put that at like a 367. Actually, no, 128. It doesn't deserve anything else. I didn't want to do this one. Glizzy Latex. He looks like a Coomer. What can I say? Who does that with their face? Like, how do you even do that? He's literally just inverting the inside of his cheeks, like, what the hell? Try to do that. He looks like a fish. Jesus Christ. I don't know what this is. This is horrible. This is some shit you see before death. Like, this is abominable! Imagine getting that stare down. That shit would make me have like 20 orgasms within the span of 10 seconds. If I was a female and I saw this shit, I'd be dead. I'd be in my grave. I'd be just cooming everywhere. This would be crazy. I hate to see it. Like, I'm a male, and I'm hard right now. I wish I could show you, but I am stiff. It's crazy. So, let me rate it from both perspectives. 367. That's just an honest rating, and I don't think I need to go anywhere else on it from the Chisel. I always love 2-for-1 combo meals. I'm not gonna lie. So, I'm gonna set the scale, first time I've ever done this, to 1,000. Bitch to the left, capped. So that's like a 528 already, if you can't tell. But let's get our man on the right here. Okay. This person right here simply deserves the title of mold. It doesn't get a number, alright? Number are for the less superior people. Because without this person, the mold meter would not exist. Mold in general would not exist. Would mold get on your wall without this person? No. Will mold grow on fucking shit? No, without this person, mold would not exist. Simply, this world wouldn't fucking exist. All right? Jesus Christ. This is mold. This is mold, and that's all I have to say. Numbers are not to be given at this point. But to everyone else, yes, like Devin Chavez, he gets all kinds of numbers. He's a retard. But this person is not a retard. This is our Savior, Jesus Christ of mold. So right here we have a Joe Rogan specimen experiment. And as you see, it's obviously gone wrong. I don't know what's happened here, but if we're gonna rate it with numbers, get the facial presets good. I see the chiselment, the mold on the exterior. You can see it all just by giving it a little glimpse. Alright? This one is an easy 422 on the mold meter. Nothing else. Child starvation is a hard topic to touch on. But for this case, I'll touch on it. Alright? I'll touch on it. This is not okay, first of all. I'm aware that there are all kinds of organizations that donate to this kind of cause. And because of that, I'm probably going to rate it pretty low. I don't want to be top tier offensive here. So I'm going to give it like a 496 on the mold scale. Nothing too high. That's a good rating, and it shouldn't be any less or any more. You can go ahead and call this one John May's dad. Alright, this is basically Hitler dad right here. I don't know what it is, and I don't even know if that's facial hair under his nose to start off. That's mold. And that's not facial hair, that is mold. Simply mold. I just don't understand. That's a rare form. I haven't seen anything like that in at least over 10 years. So in that case, I'll give him a 226 on the mold scale. A God Upon Man, the castration project that was never released, but is now open to the public. The Darwin. I don't know what to say about this one, but as you can see from the resemblance to Antonio Brown, that this one is definitely a seducing artist man. Don't let him get in the way. He's obviously a 326 on the mold scale, but don't let that dilute you. The mold on this one, I can feel its power. Holy shit, it's resonating from its natural womb. I can't anymore. He's capped. There's been a dry streak of capping, but this one has the exception. It's just giving me goosebumps as we speak. For this, I'll get started with the leaves on the shirt and the lobsters. That's a 380. The mold on the face, or whatever the hell that it's all over his body. It's spreading. It's like a cold case of the green spleen. You just can't get rid of it. So I'd say with that, I don't even need to rate anything else. He's a 492. He's almost capped, but that's his rating. Andrew Dean, he's been spotted, and it's not looking too good for him. For God I have sinned, and I need your forgiveness immediately. Baptism is what I want the most. I feel like that's what I'll need to do to be cleansed from any of this. I'm getting PTSD from my childhood right now. 4th grade year, PTSD. I can't anymore. It just hurts me. I mean, you know me, right? You know me, you know me. I've done nothing. You know me. I've done nothing wrong. But when it comes to the mold scale, I feel a superior power in me. This one's capped. Even though you can only see the half faces of the other two, all capped. I don't give a shit. If they're capped, they're capped. I have all rights in speaking here. Jacob Kelly. Jesus. This one hurts. Jacob Kelly wakes up early in the morning pierces his chin, adds a dimple, paints his lips or whatever the hell you do with your lips, and then puts a red sweating emoji for the caption, and then gets 99 likes. Jacob Kelly, what can you do about it? You can't do anything. And you know, that's what I've heard goes around. You can't do anything about it. You just gotta let it be, and that's what hurts people the most. So if I'm gonna rate it, he hurts people, and that's what I don't like to see. So you're a 128 on the scale. Rumor has it that this is Devin Sweeney's lost cousin, the one that took his iPod and sucked his dick. That's what I've heard, may not be true, but let's get right to the mold. Eye crescents. You can see them, they're very visible. That's not okay. That's like a 228 on the scale. Eyebrows, like it looks like his eyebrows are like almost attaching to his ears. They're stretching. I'm sure they're all the way wrapped around his head now. He's a 428. Nothing else said. You can go ahead and call this our God and Savior, the salad stomping Savior. Hey Devin, want this salad? Stomp it, Devin. That's what he's known for, his brutality towards salads. But that's not all. He's also a very moldy septum. I'm just analyzing it as I speak here. 327. If you look at his features, you'll understand where I get that from. Honestly, you don't even have to look. His name is Devin. Shit, man, I think I got a migraine. Let's leave this movie, right? Let's leave it. I didn't want to watch Maze. I got a migraine. I gotta go home. And I need you to leave right now. Alright? I need to go home. I have a migraine. I have a migraine. It hurts me. I'm sensitive to light, man. I'm sensitive to light. I go to school every day and get migraines. I just got migraines. I always have migraines. I hate migraines. Why would you get migraines? Jeez. You need to leave. You need to leave. You need to go home. You need to leave right now. Go on Instagram and have a migraine. Not your own, but my migraine. No one else's. End of conversation. Now this one is the complete opposite of a migraine. His head form, as you see, is a complete different kind of species. It's quite unique. It's almost a square feature, and it's also got chiselment, which is rare. Usually a square feature is just a block, but this one, chiselment, nice lips, beautiful lips, a pubic hair on his chin, and he's almost square. It's like an oval form, which is very unique. I've seen one of those in my past time, so this is rare. I'll let it sit at a solid 68. Nah, that's retarded. That's too low. I'd say a 349. And especially the apparatus, I'd say apparatus section gets him there. A round of applause for Andrew Dean, please. He has made multiple appearances, and I gotta say, this is his best pose yet. The struggle is real. Who can relate to that? Whose struggle is as real as his? We all struggle, man. The struggle is real. We need to keep it real. Stay true to ourselves. I'd say Andrew is up there, almost with the mold tag. No rating. He might be too good for numbers, but at the same time he needs numbers because he is an insane mold. Basically unpreachable to an extent. So if you look, I'd say you go ahead and rate him, but I'll give a little default rate, but I let everyone rate, you know, with their own opinions. My opinion is just mine. So I would give him a solid 1 terabyte state drive on the rating, and I'd give him the mold tag too. Oh boy. I look like shit. But let me keep you in mind. Let me keep you in check here. I met Ariana Grande's boyfriend 2 years ago today. Don't think you're fucking special. Everyone's met his boyfriend. Shit. Jesus Christ, I just leaked some very secret information there, I guess. Ariana Grande is a dick. Let me just please you with that. So, let me rate these two guys here. The one on the right. Jesus Christ, Ariana Grande. I know you're a guy, but where the hell did you go wrong? Another victim of the mold tag. This man right here, I'd give him the high supremacy of the mold tag, even above it. The she-male providence that I had gone over previously. This one is the originator, I'd say. I mean, he's the originator. Yeah, I'm not gonna change that. Look at those eyebrows. Holy shit, it's a unibrow. He probably has to shave the middle of it every single day because it grows like overnight. That's crazy. And just his neck, it looks like it's been through like third-degree burns multiple times. His ears are like shriveled impulses. His nose is rounded. Whatever, he has like 8 times the amount of herpes under his lip than he has on that neck of his. And his fingers, it's everything about him. It's crazy. He's the mold developer. He's the mold developer. And there's nothing much else to say about that. You can see it yourself. I don't even have to tell you. You should just know. Damn it, Chad with AJ. He's done it again. I'd say this is an album vasectomy almost of the year, I'd say. Chad with AJ. I just had to look at it there for a second. Sorry about that pause, but I just had to look at him. He is an exterior mold. First of all, his name is Chad. Capped. If your name's Chad, you're done. Sorry. Then there's with AJ. Man, you're in like the 750s right now. That's almost 1,000. That's like 3 people on the mold scale combined. You're up there with their rating? What are you doing? Ugh. Just look at the top of his head. It's like a plank. A nice, well-rounded plank. The weightlifter herself. Everyone should know who this is. I feel like whenever you're born into this life, whatever gender you are, right, you should just have this implanted into your head. I actually have a chip implanted into my head that I got implanted pretty early on in my stages of life. And every time I blink, I actually see this. So if I close my eyes completely, I see it. Whenever I see darkness, basically, I see this picture. And what it does is actually soothes you to sleep. It's very interesting, actually. So I'd give it a 128 on the mold scale. It doesn't deserve anything too high. I think that works for this one. Not much rough explaining here. You see this picture, and with your mold scale implanted into your head and your weightlifter chip, you should go ahead and get a final answer for this one. It's capped. I don't know anyone who'd say it wasn't capped. I think you're probably in the Chavez range if you say it wasn't, so that's on you. Legend has it that this boy actually starred for Shark Boy and Lava Girl. He casted for that Shark Boy part, actually. You know, he's a professional fisher. He looks the same that he did in kindergarten. And I gotta say that he's made some very good progression. And I think he's well appreciated in the community. I don't think he'd want it any other way either. It's always refreshing to see this one. You know, good old Galactabutico. You can never really go wrong. It's a nice sight, a nice sunrise on the shirt. He has like a bump on his head that's bulging, and it's great. You know, it calms me, calms my senses whenever I'm stressed or I'm a little bit anxious. You know, because I'm going to my probing session or my castration session. I look at this picture. I actually have 28 different copies up on my wall, actually. For this one, I gotta say that it's hard to appreciate everything you see here, but it's just all put in perfectly. Perfectly. And I don't think it really could be any other way, but when you're an early castration project and you're put into the art field, and not even just the art field, other fields of work, climax proportion, temperature, resonation, you got everything that you need, even producing Airbnb. Now this one constantly resonates with me a certain way every single time I see it. A young birdie in the flesh, it's just great to see. Not the two children, the birdie on the top. Those are not birdies on the bottom, but the birdie on the top, the center of attention. 905 shooter. His gelled back hair, everything that you really need in life. It's just so nice. 905 the shooter, the lime guy. You gotta love him for what he does. You gotta love him for what he does. But his ass is capped, so Sir Chavez, the man himself, out and in the skin suit. I just want you to imagine this man staring you down while you're just sitting in your desk with your Subway cup. That would be a dream of mine, to be honest with you. Devin has such a spectacular face, a nice physique that makes me so calm inside. I think he has a mold title. I'd say he definitely does have that mold title, and he does deserve it. Look at that fit. God damn, that's kind of nice, honestly. Devin Chavez. I'll never get over the way that he kicked that salad, stomped it. Jesus Christ, Devin. A man of culture. Oh, silly Devin. A man of culture, like I said. You can see with this one. This was great. Devin. I'm really happy I bought my skin suit of Devin. I wear it almost every day now. I sometimes use the heat ventilation thing inside to heat it up and morph myself to it. Some of it has fallen off on me though, like the skin part of the skin suit for the arms. I realized that it's kind of cheap and it's kind of grinded onto my skin, but that's okay. Devin, it's not like it's his fault. Devin, can't control that. A complete alpha Chad. Lives in his van, doesn't give a shit about society. Savage. That is so rebellious of Mr. Black Bigot. I said his name. I just want to announce that Black Bigot does exist on this earth, and I feel like everyone should take some lessons from him and really understand what his life is like, and maybe bring a little bit of his life into your life. That van life, having a baseball bat with a machete in it, spraying wasp repellent at people. It's just the life that, man, I think everyone wants. Growing up, I've always wanted to live in my van. I've always wanted to live in West Virginia in my van and spray people with wasp repellent. It's a dream of mine, and I wouldn't want it any other way. Good old friendly atheist. Now, Uncle Al, I'll tell you, he took a little undercover picture in this one. Uncle Al knows what he's doing with these guys. These type of guys are a whole different species for him. Now, if I were to rate this man on the mold scale, I would rate him in a very particular way. As you see, he is obviously a friendly atheist, closed eyes, praying to apparatus. He knows what's going on. He's got those nice Adidas skater shoes. He's got the little shield on the front. He goes home every day and does at least 300 kickflips. It's crazy. But if I were to rate him on the mold scale, he's a solid 267, and don't really need to explain. The baldness, the shoes, the baldness, it just all adds up. I tell you, this one just truly shivers me up whenever I see the embodiment of this person right here. Oh, DD Drip 3344. That is, that's truly terrifying. I don't know what the hell it is, but it scares me. Alright, he scares me, alright. It looks like an extreme atheistical dyke, in my opinion. I haven't seen much like it. It's truly terrifying. You know, sometimes I'm laid up at night, you know, watching Helper 23 with the boys, you know what I mean? This is what Helper 23 looks like. That's all I'm saying. That is Helper 23 right there. Terrifying. And, well, to be honest with you, I wouldn't lie. He's capped on the mold scale. He doesn't deserve a placement. Jesus Christ. I don't know how to explain. I don't know how to explain anymore. It's just so scary at this point. These people are like inverting their bodies. It's just so distorted to the point to where there's no recognition at this point. It's crazy. You know, it's truly a sin. I don't think any spiritual figure would agree with it. It's not acceptable. I don't understand why this human is doing this. Might not even be a human. It could be a rad roach. You never really know. But if it were to be rated, I'd give it a good 432 on the mold scale. Oh yeah, this one kills me. This one murders me. Alright. First of all, nothing murders me like seeing a retarded face like this. It kills me. It's just melting me. No, I'm not talking about Devin in the left corner. Alright. Devin is minding his own business. A pop figure like him does not need to be commented on. We know what his rating is. I mean, he's got a mold caption. You know, he's mold title. He's got it all. He's pretty high up there. You know, his pink eye or whatever he has, it's good. But the man in the middle, deceased, perished. I don't know. He's got like a rectangle head. He's not advanced enough to be in the square head league, but it is a rectangle, and if you do some adjustments, it could even be an oval. So he is capped. He is death. Bonte. He's out to kill. I don't know what's wrong with this guy. He just wants to kill everyone. What is this? What is this? Bonte, you just gotta watch out. You know, you gotta watch out with what you do. One hit from that, and you're suing Jewel for putting glass in your lungs. That's what you'll be doing. So, because you know you're in the hospital, right? And you don't want to tell people you're hitting fake carts, right? So you blame it on Jewel and get a shitload of money from it because they put glass in your lungs, right? But in reality, you're hitting Bonte carts. Oh, Seth. This is a good mold scale. He's not at the hierarchy of the mold title. He's really not even that close. Like, compare him to Devin, and he's nowhere close. You know, it's just not even comparable. But he is Seth, and I give him a 367. As you see the facial features, you are seeing lots at once, and it can hit, and reality will start to set in, and you will then believe. I truly don't understand how he does it, guys, but fuck the judge, give a fuck about a court date. That's what I'm saying. You know, that's what I'm saying when I'm in T-Town. Whew. You know, brutal incidents happen down there, and you don't want to get raided while you're down there. So I'm keeping it secure, keeping it on the down low. And I feel like with this man, it's always different mold ratings. So this one, I'd say spelling, 300. Bonte, he's capped because he's Bonte. The sperm sample that the baby was born from, the baby's father, Football Head 1. This specimen is a very rare one, and if I were to rate it, there's a lot to rate here. So yeah, he's got a football head. He's capped. You know, sometimes when you're just at the power plant or Terminal Z, maybe even the Seaside Court, you can just enjoy some Hawaiian night with the Bush Wookie. This here is the Bush Wookie. And Tyler. Yep, it's Tyler. Good old C-A-K. You gotta love C-A-K. Am I right or am I right? You know me. You know me. Haha, you know me. Hoko 2K19 Part 1 with my beach boy, heart emoji, palm tree. This is terrifying, and I don't know why it exists. It's scary, it shouldn't be allowed, and the mold meter is at a solid 499. And that's the first 499. Very nice. So right here we have a semen sample of Bonte Cart pesticide man. As you see, that's Bonte. And I already know what's on his feet. He's got those black Air Forces. When you have black Air Forces, you have nothing to worry about. You're basically free from all consequences at this point of your life. And when you're holding up your Nokia to that mirror and taking that selfie, you're getting so much pussy. Oh God. Oh. You know, this is that stance and face you make whenever you just want that 5 extra V-bucks, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know me? Like that, the dick, right? See, when the dick hangs down, it's like an exterior leg. It's just, it's unexplainable, and when you're in the realm shadow that this one is in, it's just nothing that you can take back, and that could benefit people. But when you put it on the mold scale, you'd have to give it like a 372. I'd even make them orange if I really wanted to. Make them orange and it's over. Is that a Brelly out of a skin suit? Fun fact, actually. I read this in a science book in 4th grade. There's actually only 3 Abrelli skin suits on this earth. One of the rarest. You know, that's besides the one rare Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson skin suit. But besides that, you got Abrelli. And Abrelli on the mold scale, you look at him and you want to be Abrelli. You want to be Abrelli. That hair. You're better off being bald. I don't know why people do that with their hair. It's just unexplainable. The beard, it's just neck beard. It's great. I'd say let it grow Abrelli. And everything else. He is a solid cap. He's capped. That's why he's a mold god. As you see, this picture depicts 2 fresh Blaine Williamsons. It's very nice. I love the centrical value of it. It's got the orange tint, perfect for Blaine. I don't know what it is. See, Blaine's always been orange, but these guys are even more orange. And not gonna lie, it's pretty attractive. But since it's 2 people in one picture, that's an 1,000 mold scale rating. Let's get in depth on this one. The guy on the left, chiselment, nice lips, a little mold, beard, I'd say, little scrapples, you know. That's I'd say altogether. Oh, and the hair. Ooh, Jesus. 423, and the guy on the right is a cap. So that's pretty high up there. That's like 923. No, that's pretty high on the 1,000 scale. Boys, I can't believe I yelled. I shouldn't have yelled. I shouldn't have yelled. No, my ribs. I yelled My ribs are now broken. I'm crippled forever, my ribs. They're done. They're done. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This right here is truly an amazing sight. Something that I feel like everyone should see in their life. Your life's not complete without it. Basically, I saw this, right? And I realized I could die right then and there on the spot and have eternal life. You know, it's eternal life after seeing this and dying at the same time. So that way you have a lot of drywall surrounding you and basically all the natural supplements that you need right here on the mold scale. It is capped. I don't even want to take the time to rate it. It is capped. Oh, Andrew Allen Abrams, how have you forsaken me? How have you... Oh, Andrew. No. He went from wearing those clean-ass white Puma marshmallow shoes to toting that weed trimmer. Damn. Oh, this is a hard rating. I know we've depicted him before, but I think if we look at it in perspective, the hair, that's a lot. Everything. I mean, it's not going to be capped, but it'll be like a high 463. Oh man, oh man, oh man. If you haven't seen Nigeria's Got Talent, then what are you doing with your life? This man is the most talented folk singer to ever exist. If you don't know who this is, I hope you perish. This man is basically the next savior. Now he created the earth actually. He has immortality. He's definitely an appendix, green spleen maybe. But it's a 236. Country white or pumpernickel for his bread. Cucumbers, spinach, or lettuce for his greens. Mayo for his condiments. Turkey, bologna, salami, or nothing for his meats. Eggs or sliced tomatoes to spruce up the sandwich. The orange himself, Blaine. He turned gay in like 6th grade. I think he's just always been gay. Nothing wrong with being gay, alright? But if you're Blaine, there is something wrong with that, okay? Nah, I mean, it's an orange, you know. Maybe, I think there is something wrong with being gay, actually. And, you know, that's whenever God is corrupted with the Word. The Word was God, God was the Word was God, God was the Word. He is capped, first of all. But let's think about it this way. How many different Lunchables? And now we have ourselves a beautiful picture of Shark Bonte. Originated from the shark Monty, only known between two people. But as you see, Shark Monty is always represented. He is at the bottom of the shirt, connected to the heads. But then there's Bonte, of course. Oh no, this creature is something else. Those teeth, those grimy teeth, are there to prey on the snatchers of thy holy water. You don't want to mess with that. And the freckles, it's just mold on mold on mold. His eyes are squinted. Those are the prey eyes. He's looking for prey. He has his hands up, his finger out, and he's ready to get them. He's ready to put his black forks on and get them. Alright, so me and my friend Anthony, we went to Walmart this morning actually, and we picked out every single cart that was in the grocery store, and we decided to put 24 hits of acid on each one so that it can just form into anyone's skin and they can just have an ego death trip in Walmart. Speaking of ego death trip in Walmart, me and Anthony actually went back and we made a toilet paper fort and tripped for actually it was like 2 months straight. And you know, that was in the period where my mom threw the snow globe at Uncle Al's head, and truly it was a tough time for me, but the ego death for 2 months in Walmart was fun while I slowly deteriorated. I'm pretty sure this is the baby's uncle or something, maybe a designer clothes brand man. I don't know, but he has very similar aspects to Don Cheadle. On the mold scale, I'd say 368, nothing too low, nothing too high, very medium pace. And why I say that is his eyes. It's like it's a skull. He just looks like a skull. And that blank stare. He's just waiting to reach into you. Now we got the guy with the transparent flat head. This is an interesting picture. You look at this guy in real life, he walks by you, what you doing in that moment? What are you doing in that moment? Nothing. You see, he just has such a pull on people to where he can have this kind of head and this kind of shape, that kind of transparency. You know, he's translucent at this point. He knows what he's doing. And he's a swindler, if anything. He's a swindler. I saw this and I nearly died. The offspring of Uncle Al himself, Andrew Abrams, once again has made multiple appearances on this Mold Meter movie, but this is him. This is the end of him. His beautiful portrait, everything you want in life. I want to be him. I have a skin suit and all, but the skin suit doesn't work. It doesn't do the justice. Alright, it doesn't do it. But this is the end of him. He's done very well. A rise to fame from the Aero Jackie Call of Duty Tech 45 montage. K, hold on. Could you imagine getting this snap from this feral ghoul? Could you imagine? K, hold on. What the hell? It looks like a shark. I might as well rate it. I'd say it's a 486. No explaining to be done, but he will be remembered when he perishes. He will be remembered. For everybody, clap your hands. One hop now, y'all. Tatalate nafati mezemeriano mezimu neronalamoni. Our God and Savior, Moldy Bryce. What do I have to say about Moldy Bryce? Everything. He is a god. He is a savior unto man. He ate the forbidden fruit and got capped in the back of the head. Moldy Bryce? You don't talk shit to Moldy Bryce. Look at him. That is the face of a god and the skin tone of a sacred one. For beyond this point, you will be remembered, and thou shalt not perish.
Robert Kuok, the Emperor of Vietnam. After being alive for 96 years, his face is molded to the point that it is starting to melt. Soon his mouth will be down to his ankles, and his eyes will be down to his knees. As you can see, he's sitting in his royal emperor throne, which he's been sitting in since he was born. He's also immortal, and has always looked the exact same since he was born. So on to the rating. Starting with his lips, which are the crustiest shit I've ever seen, that automatically gives him 100 points on the mold scale. Next, I'd like to point out his eyebrows, which basically don't exist, which gives him another 150 mold points. The cheeks are starting to droop so low that I'm going to have to add another 300 points for that one. And the bags under his eyes give him another 500. So overall, he's capped, but added up, his mold rating was 1050. Phil Knight. All I have to say is vagina eyes.